everybody, my name is Beck and thank you so much for clicking on today's bump date. It is my 36-week recap. I'm excited to be sharing how we are getting prepared for Bubby's arrival. It is so close and it's so exciting. So if you like the sound of this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and tap the bell to get notified. Let's get into the week that was. It has been a week of bringing things to an end that I am still processing everything that has happened this week. So in my 36th week of being pregnant with this Bubby, I have officially finished up work, which is really exciting. It's sad, but it's great because my body was honestly getting to a point where going to work 5 days a week and being in really long days was starting to take a toll on me. And as much as I love work, and I really do love work, and I'm looking forward to going back next year, it was time for me to just slow down. And it was so sweet because my colleagues threw me a little baby shower on Thursday. We had a little afternoon tea outside on the Oval. They gave me a ginormous card and it had the sweetest words on it. It was so lovely to read everyone's messages and I just felt absolutely loved. So many emotions were happening that afternoon and I just really love my workplace. I love being there every day and I'm absolutely going to miss being part of that community on a daily basis. One thing that I have really been enjoying is sitting on my ball, as you can tell. It's really comfortable for me because my belly is popped out so much more than it has previously been. If I was to sit on a normal chair, not only does it hurt my tailbone, but it also squishes my stomach and then Bub gets upset and I usually get heartburn because of it. So I feel like sitting on the ball is really good for like my posture, for comfort, but also in preparation of making sure that Bub is head down and in the right position so that we could potentially have Bubby in our arms soon. One thing that has happened this week is my sickness has gone up. And that's, I think, because of two things. One, this week in Queensland, it has been freezing cold. It is supposed to be coming to the end of winter, being the last week of August, but our temperature drops were just unbelievable. Having cold air really did affect my throat. It was quite sore. It was my only symptom. I didn't have anything else. But because of that, then I got a bit of a nasal drip and that was just really bad. My nausea level this week went up really high. I had morning sickness quite a few times going into work, which was not pleasurable at all. And this was one of the reasons why I was happy to be wrapping up work, is because I'm looking forward to having a slower pace and not having to be out by a certain time and to have things prepped and just to do it slowly and listen to my body. Braxton Hicks contractions were definitely real this week. I think once again, because my body was getting so tired and just needing a break, my muscles were just starting to get prepared and I had lots of tightenings and lots of period cramping, and it was a little bit worrying to the point where I did pack my hospital bag, so stay tuned for that video to see what we have packed for Bub number 3. And especially packing during a time of a pandemic where I don't know if we're going to be allowed to have visitors. We were allowed to have visitors, but going into my appointment next week, we've now been advised that I have to wear masks when I have my consultation with my obstetrician and that Michael and I will need to wear masks going into the hospital. So I do have a lot of questions about how that looks for delivery. But in saying all of that, we've had to pack for both girl and boy. We've had to pack for 2 different sizes because if Bubby does come in the next week or so, then it's going to be a smaller size, and if Bubby does come closer to my due date, and if we don't have the availability of people bringing up clothes, then we just need to have all our bases sorted. So packing a bag was a big thing to do this week. Michael and my bag isn't exactly packed because we're still having to wear the clothes, especially with me being in maternity where I don't really have a lot of options, and most of my stuff that I'm wearing as maternity does double up for breastfeeding, so that's something that I'm just having to make sure that I'm constantly staying on top of my washing. So if I do need to quickly pack a bag, that is all done. But I am excited to have that kind of semi-crossed off my list for this week. During this weekend, I had my baby sprinkle, which was so lovely. It was great to just have a morning tea with those who are near and dear to my heart. It turned out so well, better than I could plan, because the weekend before my baby sprinkle, the state government had put in a restriction for home gatherings of a maximum of 10 people, and at that point I had 9, including myself, attending the baby sprinkle, and then the morning of I ended up having 8 in total, and we all just fit around the table so beautifully. And I'll insert a couple of pictures of just the grazing table that was fully mixed idea, because I didn't know how to cater for the baby sprinkle, and Mick just said, why not do kind of like a grazing plate. I got all of the food stuff from Aldi, and it was really cheap, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. And we played a couple of party games, which was great, including A to Z alphabet baby name game, which I really loved. I thoroughly enjoyed hearing people's real and funny baby name suggestions. I did ask the girls if they could think of girl themed names, just because our boy name is set in stone, but our girl name is still up in the air, and it was good to get some suggestions. And so I just had a really great time of fellowship. It was a great way to finish up the week, because I finished working and then I had the baby sprinkle, and I kind of feel like now I can enjoy my maternity leave. Question of the day: with Bub's arrival being so close, what do you think Bubby is going to be? This was one of my baby shower games. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? What day do you think it's going to be? I'll insert some pictures of my 36-week bump for Amira, my firstborn, for Zoe, my secondborn, and then for this pregnancy. Give us your prediction, comment below. What do you think it is, what gender, and when do you think it's going to be born? This week, Bubby has definitely dropped, also known as lightening, so I've got more of a gap at the top where my rib cage is, and Bub is definitely further down. Because of this, my stretch marks have increased. I've noticed that. Once again, I don't really mind having stretch marks. It's just a sign that I grow big, healthy babies. And my stretch marks aren't growing in number, they're just growing in length. My sleep is absolutely broken because of Bubby dropping lower. Because Bub has dropped lower, my pelvic floor is being tested. Throughout the night, I'm probably getting up 2 times, maybe 3, to just go to the toilet and to get comfortable again. In regards to Bub's development this week, in my 36th week, it is still measuring at 38. I'm getting a lot of movement on my right hand side, and it's mostly, I'm thinking, elbow and hand and a bit of foot. Bubby has been really content to just move there, which is very different from the girls. Amira and Zoe were higher up and playing in my rib cage, where Bub is more playing, on my right hand side, which is interesting. According to my baby apps, Bub has toenails now, which is really cool. By the end of next week, being 37 weeks, I will be considered full term and could go into labor quite happily, which is exciting. I'm assuming that Bub is still head down, and because of feeling Bub drop, I would say it's a safe prediction that Bub is still head down, that it hasn't flipped. But I have an obstetrician appointment coming up on Tuesday just to double check that all out, and I will include that in next week's bump date. As always, I'll show you a placement of where Bub is on my body and their hand and foot comparison. It is so unbelievably cool that Bub is getting to that stage where it is pretty much the size that it's going to be when it comes out. I've been looking back at previous bump dates and how tiny it was, and now we are getting to the end, and I'm so happy that I've recorded this journey. I'm so thankful that you guys have come along with us, and I can't wait to meet Bubby soon. I'll give you a bump shot update, and that'll be it for our bump date for this week. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up because it really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and tap the bell to get notified. And I'll see you in my next upload.